everyone, it's Sammi. I know Conversation Starters is technically in its off season, but Drift just announced some of its biggest product innovations to date, and I'm so excited that I just felt like I had to talk more about them. That's why today I'm hosting a special episode. Think of it like a mini-sode with our product marketing director, Aurelia Solomon. She's going to give us the breakdown of what we launched and why. Aurelia, thank you so much for joining me today, a little off-season mini-sode. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you for having me, Sammi. I'm so excited to be here.
And last week, you just got back from Florida, and you were in Florida for a very special reason. Drift just hosted its first in-person event, and I want to say it's over something like 2 years. It was 2 years ago that we had an event in person in Boston, and this time it was in Florida called Flash. For those of us unable to go, I was watching in pure jealousy that you were feeling some sun. Tell us about it. What was the vibe? Give us a quick recap.
Oh, it was incredible. Yeah, like you said, our last event was 2019. So to be in person again, just having that energy. We had 250 people there. Just being able to meet with so many different people, and the energy. We started off with music and ended with music. It was very drifty, and some great sessions that we heard from drifters, but most importantly, our own customers, as well as some really amazing speakers. So I was mostly inside, so I didn't get all the sun during that day, but so incredible to be in person with everybody again, and I can't wait to do another one.
The next one, we're already thinking about it. But we do have, for anyone that really wants to see any of those amazing sessions, there's going to be a virtual event, and we can link that in the show notes. You can sign up and see all of those sessions. And we did announce some things, which I do want to get into.
We did.
It was a big week for you. I mean, we had a website relaunch, and we also unveiled 3 new products, which I'm sure as a director of product marketing is like your Super Bowl. And at the same time, you're just like running around and making sure that everything is going to plan.
Yes. It was amazing. I was joking the day with Holly on my team and the day before, a couple days leading up, where you're like, there's nothing to do. Like everything's pretty much there, and it's just about final execution of everyone hitting the button, turning on the website, these things. But you feel like it's not done till it's all done and successfully launched. It's a very odd feeling. But yes, it was amazing. We launched 3 whole new products. So Conversational Service, Conversational Sales, and Conversational Marketing, and actually rebranded our entire product suite. So those all come together with conversational into the Drift Conversation Cloud. So it has those 3 core solutions, and then it's powered by our conversational AI, which was also something that we launched to the market last Wednesday. So about a week ago now, which is crazy.
It is crazy. It's been out there for now a week. I'm going to read Drift Conversation Cloud so that everyone gets a really nice picture of what that new product suite means. So Drift's Conversation Cloud helps businesses engage with buyers on their terms at every stage of their journey. It's made up of 3 core solutions: conversational marketing, conversational sales, and conversational service, empowered by our underlying AI, API, and integrations, and reporting and analytics. And this is really nice timing to have you on actually in between seasons, because in season 1, we talked a lot about conversational marketing and the importance of conversational marketing and how that can help you tell a better story for your business, and also how you can start conversations with conversational marketing. In season 2, coming in June, we will focus a lot on conversational sales. So can you provide us a brief anecdote of how conversational marketing and conversational sales work hand in hand to deliver a seamless buying experience?
We know today, COVID accelerated this. We use this word digital transformation, right? Sort of this buzzword. It was happening before COVID, but COVID really accelerated it. And now over 75, maybe 80% of buyers do their research online alone before engaging with a sales rep. So that means you and I, as consumers and in our business world, we're doing a lot of research and finding the answers we need on our own, and there's so many different options out there, right? It's a plentiful market, a lot of competition. We can have a variety of options to learn from. And so it needs to be really easy for us to understand and find what we want. And that's where conversational marketing comes in, right? It's all about engaging customers when they're in their research phase and trying to understand and educate themselves about your product, and then converting them into a sales opportunity when they're ready. Because so many people are coming to your website, right? 80% of us, I don't want to talk to sales yet. I'm ready. I'm just trying to learn.
Yeah.
And then when I am ready, I want to have the conversation with the right person, and I want the experience to always be fast and seamless. And so that's the intersection where conversational marketing sales comes together, is nurturing and educating and then converting them into a sales opportunity. That might be routing in a live sales rep to chat. That might be booking a meeting for them, but routing them in so that sales can then start the conversation with them. But this conversation the salespeople have needs to be super relevant, because as a customer, as a buyer, I had this great experience just now through my research. I want that same great experience through the sales process. I don't want that to change. And so the sales reps need to have the information about what I care about. What conversations have I had with your business? What white papers or customer case studies have I read, so that they can engage in a really relevant way. And so that's where conversational sales comes in, is all about giving sellers the insights and communication tools they need, whether it's like chat or video or text or a phone call, to engage with their buyers at the right time, at the right place, in a really relevant way. So we say with the right conversation. And I know we'll get to this a little bit, but then that experience needs to come over post-sale too, right? The customer journey isn't just sales and marketing. It continues through their lifetime. And I want the same experience after I've purchased as I had before I purchased.
Yeah. It's nice because at Drift we've been able to drink our own champagne or eat our own dog food with conversational sales, and we have been trying out the newer features and also have been an advocate of conversational sales for a while. And it is one of my favorite things to go into our own Drift instance and look at the chats and see buyers type back, just saying like, wow, this was a great experience, or this is so timely, or I'm showing this to my coworkers as we chat right now to show what a great experience it is. So that's been a really fun part of using that. And now that we've sort of launched that to the market, it's very exciting.
Yes.
And you touched on it a little bit, but what you were talking about from the post-sale side of thing is something that we just announced at Flash called Deal Room. Can you tell us a little bit more about Deal Room?
Yes. So think of it as anyone who's ever bought a house, or so there are different apps where you can collaborate with your broker. And if you're buying a house, it's just an analogy that may make it simple for people. There's a lot of steps in that. There's a lot of communication. You need to be reading documents, blah, blah, blah. It's the same concept, but for salespeople to engage with their buyers throughout the sales process. So it's a shared space where they can collaborate. So it creates more transparency in the deal process. So if you talk to sellers, they're always going to tell you, like, one of their biggest pain points is like the meetings between meetings. Like, they meet with their buyer, with their prospect, but then like they don't hear from them for a while. What's happening between that? And probably they're meeting with other members of the buying committee. They're doing internal diligence. But as a salesperson, you're like, how can I understand what's going on? And so now it's this collaborative space where you can share links that can be shared with the customer across different stakeholders at their business, and the rep knows who's engaging with them, what they're engaging with. They can chat right there. They can work on mutual action plans, which is a very sales specific term, but basically means what are we working towards? What are our action plans? How do we move forward in this process? So really the goal with Deal Room is to simplify the sales process, eliminate a lot of the manual work that sellers and buyers have to do. So you're no longer, searching through email to find like, oh, Sammi, you sent me in some email, you sent me that document and that one pager on Conversational Service. Like, I want to send that to my boss. Well, instead of like digging through 3 emails or whatever, it's now can just be saved in Deal Room, and you can share that with your boss. So it just gives this really accessible collaboration space.
Yeah. making a really nice and frictionless sales process for both the seller and the buyer. And oh my gosh, the amount of times that I'm going through Slack, like Command F, looking
Yeah.
for something, or
Yes.
going through my email, and I'm like, what was this word that I'm trying to look for so I can find this email? Now
Exactly.
it's all just in that one space.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool, or it is very cool. But I'm excited. We obviously just launched it, so really excited to have more account AEs and sales reps using it, and obviously drifters, as you said, we always drink our own champagne, so they've already been using it from beta onwards.
So we reviewed conversational marketing, conversational sales, and now when we talked about Conversation Cloud, we touched on conversational service. And that is a new product innovation for us. Can you give us the elevator pitch on conversational service?
Yes, I'm so excited about this one too. But if I were to just condense it in very simple terms, it's about creating really great experiences for your customers without burdening your support teams. So I'll elaborate on that a little bit. Is anyone, if you talk to any service leader, and I spoke with a lot of them before launching this, they have very similar pains. I mean, it's a really complex business, and they have a lot. On the one hand, they have customers who have needs. And it might be a simple question, it might be a complex issue, but they have a need and they need an answer. And then you have your service agents, your team of people that are there to support, but humans can't do everything. We can't be awake 24/7. We don't have all the answers all the time. And there's only so much work we can take on. And you have customers, as we talked about that experience, they want to talk to a human sometimes, but sometimes like I just want to I get the answer to my one question. I don't want to wait to talk to somebody. I just have a simple question. I want to get the answer and move on. And so that's really the beauty of where conversational service comes in is it is giving service teams the ability to create self-service options for their customers. So I, as a customer, can ask questions to Drift's bot and get the answer I need, or our bot can surface knowledge base articles from Salesforce and Zendesk, so I can, again, self-serve the answer to my own question. Or maybe it's more complex and we need to create a ticket. The bot can just create a ticket and that will flow in for the agent. And then in the scenarios where maybe it's like a VIP customer, right? One of our top customers, or it's just more complex and it requires a human, we can route in one of those live agents to a conversation with the customer. And so tying back to earlier in our conversation, Drift started in marketing, sales, and that's all about creating really great experiences for your buyers, right? Engaging customers on their terms. Well, on their terms means throughout their entire life cycle. And that means also when they have purchased, and they might purchase things in the future too. And so we want to be able to help them, whether it is, hey, I get help with a product, or hey, I want to buy something new, or hey, just have this question about Drift or your business that is not related to problem or buying. And so that's really where conversational service comes in. And the last thing I'll say is this is just the beginning of it. So we launched last week, but we are investing really heavily in conversational service this year. And so there's going to be a ton more awesome capabilities beyond, customer satisfaction and deflection rate, which you can already see reporting on that, but adding even more across the board. So I'm, as you can tell, super excited about it.
I'm excited about it too. I feel like everyone has been somewhat scarred from a bad customer support scenario. So everyone knows what it's like to sort of scream into the void, like, give me a human, or just have that. And from a support side of things too, I'm sure there's a lot of people who have been in support who are overwhelmed by tickets or overwhelmed by the chat queue. And I think that this solves for so much of that. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, I mean, quick anecdote is that actually going to Flash, I woke up, my flight was supposed to leave at 8 a.m. I woke up, I was 6:30, about to call an Uber to the airport, and I see an email that's like, your flight has been canceled. I was like, what? And for folks, it's spring break, I guess, in Boston, so you couldn't go anywhere in Florida. So I called JetBlue. It's like, wait online. the wait time is 2 hours and 37 minutes. I'm like, I don't have 2 hours and 37 minutes. Like, you just canceled my flight. Shouldn't I get priority service because my flight? And it was one of those where I was laughing to myself because I was like, the ringtone, just being on hold literally for 2.5 hours. So yes, those are the problems that we are trying to solve.
Well, any airline, if you're listening,
Yeah.
A, give Aurelia priority. B, think about your conversational service experience. We're going to do a little speed round to wrap things up. So conversational AI, we said that that's the underlying power to Conversation Cloud. So it touches conversational marketing, conversational sales, and conversational service. So in 1 minute or less, we're putting you to the test here. Can you explain how AI touches each of these solutions? And we're going to have Elizabeth time it so that it's very fun.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So conversational marketing.
Okay. It's all about qualifying leads 24/7 and giving you insights into what your website visitors are asking about. Conversational sales is insights as sellers into what your target accounts are doing so you can engage in the right way at the right time. And conversational service is about answering your customers' questions 24/7 so that they get what they need without burdening your service teams and creating a ton of ticket and work, like we said.
That was about 30 seconds. So yes, Aurelia, very impressive.
Wow. That is when you really are showing your product marketing chops there. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk us through these new launches. It's all very exciting. And if our listeners want to hear a little bit more about Conversation Cloud and its solutions, where should they go?
Yes. Tons of places. Head to our website, primarily our blogs. We have a ton of blogs, and of course, Drift Insider, a ton of content there. If you don't find what you need on any of those 3 places, I will be shocked, but come to chat in with us, and I am happy myself to answer any questions that you might have.
Well, you heard it here first. You can ask for Aurelia by name in chat. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Sammi. It was awesome chatting.
Thanks so much for listening to Conversation Starters. If you liked this episode, please leave us a 6-star review by clicking the link in the show notes. And hit subscribe so you never miss another one. You can connect with me on Twitter @Sammi Reinstein and follow all of our shows @Drift Podcasts.